Hello and welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today we are incredibly excited to introduce you a truly remarkable individual, Natalie Mangen, the second runner-up of the prestigious Amberscholar 3rd edition. With an outstanding GPA of 3.81, Natalie is pursuing the integrated path to architectural licensure at the renowned Savannah College of Art and Design. Her passion for learning, growth, and innovation has shaped her vision of architecture as a vital part of the human experience. As part of her achievement, Natalie has been awarded a $3,000 scholarship, a recognition of her hard work, talent, and dedication. We are honored to have her here today to share her inspiring journey. Let's dive into her experiences, challenges, and vision for the future.
Hi Natalie, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. First of all, a very hearty congratulations on winning the AMS scholarship. You were the second runner-up, and we are extremely glad and happy that a candidate such as yours could, win and get the much-deserved amount of scholarship. Um, Also, I'm very sure that when you received the news and you found out that you're one of the winners, you must have been very excited. If you can let us know how is it that you felt when you heard the news.
I was very shocked and excited when I found out that I was being awarded this scholarship. It's very encouraging that I'm still being able to have support as I go through my, academic career, and that I will still be able to pursue my goals without having to worry so much about the financial aspect of it all. So I was very happy, and this has been great.
That is amazing to hear. So Natalie, can you tell me how did you discover about the scholarship and how did you go about with the application?
I discovered the scholarship when I was just searching around for ways to support my academic goals. And when I saw your site and looked more into what you guys were representing, I thought it aligned with what I wanted to complete with my life. So I immediately was like, this is something I can see myself being successful in, and decided to pursue the application.
That's great. Um, so you're into architecture, right? You're pursuing and studying architecture. It is such a unique field. I mean, it shapes the spaces where we live, where we work, and in general, all of the spaces that we connect with each other.
Mhm.
What is it that initially drew you to architecture, and how did you know that this is something that you want to pursue as a career?
Honestly, it was everything you just said. It was creating spaces where you can grow in and interact with people. And not a lot of people really realize like how much architecture can affect someone's mood or how you experience a space or an event. And I've known I want to do architecture since I was pretty young. I grew up in a creative household, and there was always a lot of like home projects going on. So it was always really inspiring in that sense. So I kind of always known I wanted to go into a design field for spaces like interior design or architecture in this case.
I mean, that's amazing that you decided what you wanted to do in your life at a very young age. Very few people, find that connection so early on and decide that, hey, this is something that I find interesting and I would want to study and then, get my career on the same path and build such type of spaces for the rest of the people to, connect with as well. So can you tell us more about the program that you're currently enrolled in and how does it align with your aspirations?
So I'm currently enrolled in Savannah College of Art and Design. I'm a part of this 7-year program that will allow me to get my bachelor's in 4 years and then my master's in 3, with the addition of my license at the end of all 7 years. Typically in architecture, it takes about 12 years to get licensed. So this is an expedited process, and it allows me to be in a place in my field a lot quicker that I would want to be, and it'll allow me to be more successful earlier on than I would be able to.
Right. And has Savannah College always been your go-to university option?
It has, actually. I discovered it my freshman year of high school when I was researching different colleges that I might be interested in, and I found SCAD. They have one of the top architecture programs in the US, and I visited it, and the campus is amazing. It's beautiful in Savannah. It really nurtures the creative field. And it's an amazing experience down here.
All right. So apart from the demanding course and the campus, what would you say are the top 3 reasons for Savannah to be your go-to university?
The professors, for one, the class sizes, and the assignments that they assign. It's very creative. The professors are very on hand. Class sizes aren't too big, so we're able to really have those connections with each other, our professors, our studio mates, our classmates, and it allows us to create those connections and really network really early on before we even step into a professional career field.
Right. So would you say that Savannah is difficult university to get into? Because we did go through your academics, and you've maintained a GPA of 3.8, which is phenomenal. And I'm very sure that maintaining such a high GPA is for such a demanding program is a no easy task, right? So what would you say there? Was it difficult to get into the university?
Back when I applied, I had to go through a process of like submitting my portfolio and talking to a couple of representatives for SCAD. And as you go through that process, it was very in-depth and in that sense. So I would say it was a little bit difficult. But they're really encouraging here at SCAD, and it always felt very encouraged during that whole process and the application process. So.
Right. So were there any strategies or maybe hacks that helped you stay focused and achieve such great academics throughout your schooling?
Time management has got to be one of the biggest things for architecture. We are on a 10-week quarter system. So I have 10 weeks to do all my studio work and present and have complete designs. And so being able to manage my time between my studio class, which is 5.5 hours, and then my lecture classes is very important, that I'm able to get all my work done and give the best quality work that I can. So I think time management is one of the best things you can have here at SCAD.
Right. I think time management is also one of the things that a lot of people struggle to, have and be good at it. So that's amazing how good of a hold you've had in time management and succeeding like you have. Since you've already gotten into a dream university, right? If let's say it wasn't something that wouldn't have been possible, were there any other universities that you are considering for the same program of integrated architecture?
I was looking into other universities like Drexel, Rhode Island Institute of Architecture, as well as those were my top 2 choices outside of SCAD. But I just did early admittance for SCAD, so I knew I was going there pretty early on in my senior year of high school. So I wasn't too stressed to look into backup plans, but I did have some backups.
Right. Could you maybe walk us through the process of how did you apply and get into the university at Savannah?
So I started applying to the early admittance process, I would say early September or late August of my senior year of high school. We submitted my application, my portfolio, and then and previous to those years, I was visiting the college. I was, talking to a lot of people who've went there, trying to get the feel of what's expected of the students there. And then when we do the interview, I had a better idea of what is to be expected as a SCAD student, and kind of went from there.
So if I had to summarize this, I would probably say that the early on students prepare, the better it is for them to increase their acceptance into their desired universities, correct?
Yes.
Right. Okay, can you share any tips on how to decide which is the best program and the best university for students, to pursue their field of education?
I would say for me, I was looking at careers that were both creative and practical. I think to be successful in your major, you want to choose something that you see having like a practical world application, as well as something that you love and enjoy and have a passion for. So finding that kind of mesh is important, I would say, in choosing your major. A lot of schools do say, like, don't declare a major right away, freshman year, maybe explore in that sense, which I think is a smart thing to do. Unless you know exactly what you're going to do, then go for it. And then research your schools, research what values you want, the programs you want, and how the schools go about conducting their programs, I think is the biggest part of it, and what would align best with you. And like SCAD's and quarter system, other colleges have semesters, so that's another thing to take into account. At SCAD, quarter systems are a lot faster. You're doing a lot more work. It's a lot more time consuming in that sense. So I think finding a place where you are able to thrive is important.
Right. I mean, these are some great tips that I think will help all of the students who watch your interview. Um, sorry. So architecture is a field which blends both creativity and technical knowledge, correct? So what would you say are some qualities or skills that have been important to your success so far?
I think it's important to be able to balance the creative and the technical side. Be sure to not only focus so much on being a creative, but also getting drawing techniques down. Being able to, with architecture, it's very specific about how you scale things and the math involved in it. And there's more that technical side that you really want to focus on. A lot of times you feel like you may get lost in the creative part of it and not necessarily think about the climate aspects to architecture or the site design and stuff like that. So I think taking into account both sides of the field is very important, as well as the amount of people that you interact with. It's a very social, communicative major and career field. So being able to effectively be able to express your opinions and design choices is important as well.
Right. I think, as you rightly said, maintaining and finding that balance could be the key to, take you to great heights in the field of architecture. Is there anything or any technique that has helped you achieve this balance?
Talking to the professors a lot, having that open communication. They set you up to succeed here, and they're always open to giving advice, and really just becoming a sponge for all of their knowledge is really important. Taking into account everything they have to say, they'll guide you. Don't be scared to ask your professors for help. I think they are here for a reason, and they are a tool and a resource to utilize.
Right. I think that would be extremely helpful. So you mentioned that when in SCAD, it's a lot of work because it's a semester pattern, right? How
Yeah.
is it? Right, sorry. In such a situation where there are a lot of creative assignments, a lot of connects which happen in your studios or in your classes. Let's say if students are supporting themselves through part-time jobs,
Mhm.
how is it that they would manage studying, being on top of their academics, and also getting some sort of financial support through such part-time work?
I have a couple of friends who have part-time jobs currently, and it is very difficult if you don't really plan your schedule accordingly. Um, and yeah, time management is a huge part of that. Having it is possible, though. I would like to say it is possible to be successful and still have a job and be able to support yourself. Um, with architecture, because our studios are 5.5 hours, we are given plenty of time to get work done in class and be successful the most there, so that we don't have to worry, I would say, too highly about out of class work. So it is a possibility, but also there are a lot of late nights, as is a huge stereotype in the architecture field. Um, all-nighters they do happen, even though we can have the best time management in the world. Sometimes it's just architecture takes time, and 10 weeks is not a lot of time. So there is some overlap in that sense.
Sounds like a lot. Is there any if there are any health tips to maintain both physical and mental health that probably you or your friends are following, which you can share with the audience?
I think it's really important to learn how to step away for a little bit and give yourself that time to like breathe. Like there's plenty of time. It may not feel like that in the moment, but we have time to do everything. And sometimes perfection, and being a perfectionist can kind of get in the way of that. So I think learning how to manage that kind of trait is important, especially in this field. And yeah, I mean, being able to have and honestly connect with your classmates, it makes the time you are working even better. Having that social life in your studios really does help, with the long hours that you spend with this major as well. But yeah, being able to step away, take a breathe, go eat something, go watch a movie, do something like that, it really does kind of help you reset and you'll come back stronger.
Right, and in the go, you'll also create a lot of great connections with all of your classmates and the people that you're studying with.
Yeah.
Great. Also, there were a couple of times where you emphasized on having exceptionally good time management. Can you share some tips that you're following? If there are any routines, or maybe you stick to any reminders or anything that can help.
So we have no classes on Fridays. So during Fridays, I will get majority, if not all, of my lecture classes work done and get that out of the way. So my weekends are totally free, essentially, to be able to work on my studio projects, as well as being able to manage my time in class studios, so that I'm able to get as much work done as I need, so I'm not falling behind. And understanding the requirements for the projects and able to divvy up that in a kind of schedule of like when to have this done and when I can start working on this and progressing and so forth. So just having a plan really is, I think, the best way I do it.
Great. These are some amazing tips that you've shared with us, and I'm very sure that all the students who would be listening will take inspiration and motivation and try and implement at least a few of these tips into their routine. Um, when it comes to architecture, right, from your perspective, it is something which helps us connect with the space that we are in. It could be studying, it could be working, it could be just having a gala time. What role does architecture as a whole play in shaping these human experiences?
Um, as a whole, shaping those human experiences, I would say architecture, um, when you look into it and you're learning more as it's not just designing a building and placing it in a random spot. You take so much of the site into account and how the sun affects it and how wind will take into account. And so those are like little minute details that you're bringing in. So like suddenly this courtyard has a wonderful breeze, but that's a design aspect. You don't really notice these things until you really like think about it and observe it. Like the sun is like coming in strong this one angle, so you block it out, and now it's a comfortable space to be in. So I think just taking into account all of these design and the environment is just these small ways that you don't necessarily think about when you see a building that the architect has already thought of, if that makes sense.
Yes, it absolutely makes sense. I mean, even when we go into spaces and there's a very slight breeze which is continuously flowing through that really upticks the mood that you're in. I mean, completely relatable, and I think um, this is what makes you feel so much interesting. And to be on the forefront of it, where you're studying and you would be designing all of these spaces in future. um that's truly inspiring. um so looking ahead to your future, since you would be now pursuing your masters, what are your long-term goals in the field of architecture? How do you hope to create an impact when you would be designing these spaces for people?
So my long-term goals is I'm hoping to work at a firm that highlights the importance of sustainability in architecture, taking into account the materiality impacts, how you can utilize the environment, like sun for solar power, wind, and all of these things to create a sort of net zero building, which is a building that produces as much as it energy as it consumes, and really allowing it to ingrain itself into the environment rather than it taking over an environment is kind of my main goal in architecture. Yeah, and I hope in my 7 years here at SCAD, I'll have an internship during my master's program. I will have an internship during my master's program, and being able to build connections from there and continue to network my way through as I continue my academic journey is the goal.
Right. To be very, very honest, we love the goal that you have in future, that you want to build sustainable places. I mean, that's where the world is also heading, and that is a much required aspect, considering global warming and how the environment is changing also. Um, in the field of architecture, when we are talking about USA in specific, can you tell us what are the job opportunities there? What is the salary bracket? What is your expectation once you move out of your university and into the industry?
So with architecture, you can be an architectural designer in about any state. But to be licensed, you have to be licensed in a specific state. So when taking into account my internships, I'm kind of looking at places that I would want to live in the future and that I would want to be for long term, so that I can take that into account when I take my test for licensure. The salary roughly is about 60, I believe, starting for a salary, 60K a year. But that can fluctuate based on degree, time experience, etc., and licensure. And with my program, we are required to have an internship during our master's program. So SCAD helps in creating those networks and those connections to ensure that we are able to be successful in that sense. And SCAD has one of the highest employment rates after graduation, which was another reason I wanted to attend SCAD. And yeah, it's there's a lot of interning opportunities. I think the best way to be successful is networking and taking part in activities and competitions and putting yourself out there as well. I've had some past internships already, and having those connections really help. And having internships in any way is a better. It helps in the hiring process down the line. My first internship was really helpful in getting my next one, and I'm currently right now in the process of interviewing for another one right now for this summer. So
That's great to hear. I mean, not just theoretically, but because of your internships, you're also getting on-hand experience very early on. And I'm sure that is going to help you achieve great heights when you actually move into the industry as a full-time worker. So do you have any plans of opening up your own firm, or you would be sticking with one firm for the remaining years?
I have been thinking about opening my own firm. I think something very special about architecture is the teams that you can create and the people that you can work with. So I would love to be able to create an environment with a team that I really love to work with in that sense. But I do think that it will be further down the line. I really want to get experience with my goal is sort of work with a firm for a good amount of time. And once I have a really great understanding and feel that I will be able to confidently progress into a business of my own, that I will then take that step.
Great. That is, I think, the biggest dream that you would be having is opening your own firm. You mentioned that you needed to select the state that you want to live in, because the license that you get for architecture is based across that, right? If, let's say, further on in your life, you decide to switch the states that you want to live in, do you have to reapply for the license, or you can use it or shift states maybe?
You would have to retest because it's based on the state's codes. So it's important that we understand where those, what states require different aspects in architecture. So you would have to retest. But I hear that if you get licensed in one state and you have a good understanding, it's not too difficult to go in and retest again for a different state. So you would just be licensing yourself in multiple states.
All right. I mean, seems fair enough. I think majorly this could be because of maybe a different rule or different regulations that keep on changing between states. It's been great talking with you, Natalie. And the story that you've shared, the dreams and the visions that you have for your future, I'm very sure that they will inspire a lot of students who would listen to your interview. I just have one parting question for you. What advice would you give to students who aim to win scholarships, or in general, if they're planning to pursue their studies in the field of architecture?
I would say don't let rejection discourage you, because there's so many different opportunities out there. I would put yourself out there. Don't be scared of rejection. Being able to just try, I think, is the best thing you can do for yourself. But yeah, I would say don't let rejection discourage you is probably the best way. With architecture, you get a lot of critiques. You get a lot of other people's opinions. So I would say take everything with a grain of salt, and try not to personalize everything too much.
Great. That's amazing, Natalie. It was lovely speaking with you. And congratulations once again on winning the scholarship. We really hope that the amount that you would receive helps you at least somewhat in achieving your dreams and your hopes for the future.
Thank you so much. It's been great.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You as well.
Thank you so much, Natalie, for sharing your inspiring story and insights with us. Your passion for architecture and dedication to your studies are truly commendable, and we are so excited to see where your journey takes you next. To our viewers, Natalie's story is a testament to the power of perseverance and ambition. As we celebrate her achievements through the Amberscholar 3rd edition, we also want to remind you that the spirit of learning and growth continues with future editions. So, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our channel to stay updated on the Amberscholar program. Subscribe to our channel right now to grab this opportunity in future. Stay tuned for more updates on this incredible initiative, and let's keep pushing the boundaries of learning and innovation together.